Hello, and welcome back to the Speaker Library. Take a deep breath because we are letting go of the pressure to be positive, happy, and perfect. We're diving into a book that strips away the fluff and delivers a necessary, blunt dose of reality. Mark Manson's The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. If you feel like your mental bandwidth is constantly maxed out, worrying about social media performance, geopolitical events, the opinion of a relative, or chasing that elusive idea of constant happiness, you are suffering from care overload. The world is constantly screaming at you to care about everything. Manson delivers the core message. Your emotional energy, your fucks, are a finite resource. They are your most valuable currency. If you spend them lavishly on petty, low-stakes issues, you'll be emotionally bankrupt when the real challenges arrive. The subtle art isn't about becoming apathetic. It's about selective caring. It's the disciplined choice to reserve your energy for a few truly meaningful struggles. We're here to learn how to let go of cheap problems and embrace the expensive, worthwhile ones. Let's dive into the lessons that will redefine your values and redirect your focus. Manson is adamant. Not giving a fuck does not mean being indifferent. Indifference is easy. It's a lazy coping mechanism. True power lies in having a highly disciplined filter for what you allow into your attention. A person who successfully employs the subtle art is someone who cares so much about a higher value, their family, their art, their chosen mission, that they simply cannot register the minor bumps in the road. If you are a student in Bangalore working 14 hours a day to start your tech company, your higher value, you simply won't have the time or energy to worry about what someone said about you at a college reunion, the low-stakes worry. This discipline allows you to escape what Manson calls the feedback loop from hell. This is when you feel anxious or bad about a problem, and then you feel bad about feeling bad. You worry that you are worrying too much. This loop is the ultimate energy sink. The escape route is choosing to give a fuck about a worthwhile, internally controlled value, like honesty or vulnerability. Once you anchor your identity to that, the fear of judgment from others, a weak external value, loses its power. Your fucks are currency. Use them to invest in your integrity. Here is the inconvenient truth Manson wants us to accept. Life is nothing but a never-ending series of problems. Happiness is not the absence of problems. Happiness is finding better problems you enjoy solving. The person seeking a stable job has the problem of job searching. The person with the dream job has the problems of complex management, 60-hour work weeks, and career stagnation. You can swap your problems, but you can never escape them. The great danger here is the hedonism trap, the societal pressure to constantly seek pleasure and avoid all pain. When you avoid pain, you become weak and entitled. Manson identifies 3 dangerous forms of entitlement. The victim, believing the world owes you something because of your past suffering. They externalize responsibility. Example: I can't succeed because the system is rigged against me. The superachiever, believing the world owes you something because of your extreme competence or success. They need constant validation. Example: I deserve special treatment because I work harder than everyone else. The perpetual hopeful, believing that success will magically appear without proportional effort or that happiness is a constant state. Entitlement is the root of giving too many fucks about things that don't matter, specifically external validation. The powerful question must always be, what is the struggle, the pain, and the discomfort I am willing to embrace for this goal? Stop wishing for an easy life. Start wishing for better, more purposeful struggles. This is the toughest pill to swallow, but the most empowering. You are not always at fault for your situation, but you are always responsible for how you respond. You may not be at fault for being born into poverty in rural India, or for losing your savings in a market crash in the EU. But you are 100% responsible for the next step you take, the effort you put in, and the attitude you maintain. Blame is irrelevant. Responsibility is action. Bad values versus good values. Manson argues that most people operate under bad values, which are unhealthy because they are external, popularity, wealth for status, always being right. You don't control these. Vague/fuzzy. To be happy, to live a great life. You can't act on these. Antisocial/destructive. manipulation, always being the victim. The only path to inner power is to choose good, healthy values. Values that are honest, immediate, and fully within your control, regardless of external events. Honesty with yourself and others. Commitment/discipline. Sticking to your chosen mission, even when boring. Vulnerability. Willingness to be emotionally exposed and risk rejection. Willingness to fail. Understanding that real growth requires being wrong. These values are tough, but they give you true internal control. If your value is honesty, you win every time you tell the truth, regardless of the outcome. That is the definition of true, unshakable power. Many people spend their lives desperate to be right. They need to feel certain about their beliefs, their jobs, their relationships, and their future. Manson calls this the certainty trap. The need for certainty is what makes us reject new information and dig our heels in during arguments. It's what prevents learning. Manson posits the simple truth. You are wrong about everything. Not in a cynical way, but in a constantly evolving way. What you believe is right today will inevitably change as you grow and experience more. The willingness to admit you might be wrong is the key to growth. If you believe you already know everything about investing, you'll never adopt a better strategy. If you believe your relationship is perfect, you'll ignore the cracks that need repair. The kill yourself mindset. This isn't dark. It's metaphoric. Every major transition, quitting a bad job, ending a toxic relationship, moving cities, requires the death of your current self and identity. You have to kill the person you were to become the person you need to be. The fear of being wrong is the fear of that identity death. True confidence doesn't come from believing you're perfect. It comes from knowing that even if you are wrong, you have the internal resources, your good values, to handle the consequences and adapt. In a world obsessed with being an exceptional superstar, driven by external, shallow metrics, Manson offers the greatest relief. Accept that you are not special. And that is profoundly liberating. The pressure to be unique and constantly amazing creates the anxiety that fuels the entire self-help industrial complex. When you accept your mediocrity, which simply means accepting that you can improve, but you won't be perfect, you free yourself to focus on the boring, necessary work. The person who shows up to do the repetitive, non-glamorous work, the 30 minutes of writing, the consistent 10% saving, the daily small acts of kindness, will always outpace the exceptional person waiting for a grand, perfect moment. Success is measured by dedication to the process, not by the dramatic result. Finally, Manson brings up the biggest fear: death. The only way to truly give a fuck about something meaningful is to acknowledge that your time is limited. Once you accept that you and everything you love will eventually end, you can finally prioritize and give your finite fucks to the few things that matter most in the time you have left. We've covered the complete philosophy of the subtle art of not giving a fuck. It's a powerful invitation to stop living reactively, stop chasing the high of constant happiness, and start living proactively by choosing your pain. The core shift is moving from, how do I make this problem go away, to, is this problem worth having? Is this the pain that serves my highest values? A quick recap of the most important takeaways. Lesson 1. Don't be indifferent. Be selective. Guard your fucks like currency and only spend them on your chosen values. Lesson 2. Problems are permanent. Choose better problems you enjoy solving. Reject entitlement. Lesson 3. Take radical responsibility for your response, even if you are not at fault. Lesson 4. Assume you are wrong about everything. Your willingness to admit error is the engine of growth. Lesson 5. Embrace the ordinary work. The reward is in the consistent struggle, not in the exceptional outcome. Here's your immediate, actionable step from the speaker library today. Perform a quick value audit. On a piece of paper, write down the 3 most painful or stressful things in your life right now. Now, beside each one, write, what good, healthy value, like honesty or commitment, is this pain serving? If you can't connect the pain to a chosen, healthy value, you are giving a fuck about the wrong thing. Stop immediately. Thank you for tuning in. We hope this deep dive inspires you to stop letting the world decide where your energy goes and start choosing your struggles wisely. If you loved this candid look at life, please hit that subscribe button and share this episode with anyone in the USA, Europe, or India who is ready to give fewer fucks about everything and more fucks about what truly counts. Until next time, dare to struggle, dare to grow, and keep leading.